Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching. Hey, freaks! Am I on there? I can't tell if my audio is working or not. Testing. Oh yeah, let's see. There it is. Wow, I got a lot of audio mixer stuff in this program here. Alright, there you are. And there's Clancy and Benny just chilling out. They go outside. We let them go outside a lot now. It was just kind of hard during the winter, but I think even if in the winter it's okay. It's better than them crapping and peeing in their little bed, their little mat thing that you have there. But they just walk around and mark everything, so it's hard to just let them. You can't just let them roam freely because they just sit there and, like, you know. So it's got to be. I think they have to be like neutered first, you know, and then maybe they'll quit doing that. I don't know. It's just wild. Like, they just have these little, like, quick draw McGraw markings. It's crazy. All right. So what's going on, everybody? What do you mean you've been looking at the Delphi trial? It's been over for a long time, Marilees. It's been over for a long time. We covered it for 7 years. Where were you? Let's see. We've got yeah, it's nice and sunny out there today, that's for sure. Got my notebook and stress ball. All right, Genie Gaia guy. Oh, they were nicer than you expected? What do you mean? What did you expect? It's a good stress ball. It's a good notebook. I mean, God, that's kind of mean. Yeah. Anyways, I thought I'd go over the same, but, you know, discuss with you guys the information that we discussed earlier. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's from the trial. See all the weird... It's supposed to look like that. Or the hearings. Yeah, the notebook was pretty... Well, the pen was pretty good, right? The pen, the poker chip's pretty good. You know, maybe the stress ball, is, you know, it's good. It works. Yeah. Awesome. So what was there what part of the video today did you want to discuss more of? Or you guys want me to do the Delphi stuff first and then go into the Idaho? Because there's some new images that came out, exhibits. One of them is the photograph inside the vehicle before being dropped off of Abby in the back seat. I got to change that graphic. It's 238 now. Okay, cool. So, anyways, while you guys are watching the show, if you're interested and, you know, feeling like you want to support my channel, we've done a lot of great work outside. 239 now, actually. outside of just doing true crime coverage. And so, you know, if you guys are, if you're sending in super chats and whatnot, or supporting my channel and allowing us as a whole to make a bulk donation at the end of the month to various different charities, and we've given $239,000 out since January of 2020. You can see the totals for the year. We're at 10,000 this year so far. All right, and if you're out there and you have the ability to, I would appreciate your support. Thank you. All right, let's see. Let me get to the over here. So these are some of the images that came out. I mean, look, that's crazy, right? I mean, that's you know, Abby in the back seat, kind of a cool photograph, you know, but that's Libby in the front seat of the car. It's a selfie image, so that's flipped, so it's really the other way around. Maybe we should get open my, here, hold on. I'll open up Photoshop. It's just weird seeing these photos. Well, hey, thanks, Timothy Cecil. You know, but like I said before, like if people can't afford it, you're not required to support the channel. I just try to get the support. Let's see. All right, so this is a picture of Abby and Libby, probably 50 minutes before they were, maybe less than an hour probably before they were killed. Could be like an hour and 5 minutes, I guess. Hey, thanks, Christine Smith. Thank you to Gray for taking the time to record and upload, and that you do the freaks for being here. Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you know, it takes a long while to make videos. You know, you got to put stuff in order to make sure it's not some crazy. Alright, so really the image is edit, transform, flip, horizontal. That's what the image looked like. That's the real image, because she's in the passenger front seat. Alright, there we go. Kind of more like that, I guess. I guess it needed to be rotated slightly, but. And then image, adjustment, auto color, that's pretty good. Probably image adjustment, brightness, contrast. Yeah, so there you go. Isn't that crazy? And that's Abby right back there, and then just a little bit later, as we've seen in the videos, she's being followed by somebody across the bridge. They got that one. They also released I think Court TV got these. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I've ordered, okay, and they have it. I actually asked the lady, she just got it today, so I would imagine in less than a couple weeks we should have a bunch of stuff. So this is how they map it out. However, they, you know, so the river's over here, because that's north pointing, you know, down at the bottom. So what I did was I put the image out there on, hey, thanks, Jeannie Gayagoy gifted a membership to Robert Maldonado. That's the same last name as, I think, a baseball player. Candy Maldonado. Alright. I think I'm on the wrong case map location. It's way over here. So it's kind of like that. You know? So if you were going north-south, north is that way. So this is how they would be orientated, like this. Hey, thank you, Shelby. Gifted a membership to Froggy Megzy. Thank you, Florence White. Yeah, I appreciate it. So that's crazy, right? I mean, that's a good indication. I think that's kind of how we thought of it anyways, but it's like that, and it's 50 feet from the edge, so somewhere around down there they were laying on the ground like this, and Libby was completely nude here. Looks like they even put a little blood on both of her hands. And then I'm not sure what this is right here. This is like a blood pool that apparently there's some branches near. I don't know what that refers to there. And that's 3:32:39 p.m. phone stopped. That's that's actually my pin. It's not on the image. I'm sorry. I was going to read that. So, yeah, I guess they're saying that that's a tree here, shaped like that, not right next to her. And then this is this really huge branch, I guess, that they drew that's on her. And then there's some smaller ones. And then there's that's pretty accurate on how they were drawn. And as you can see how her elbows are kind of out to the side. That's because she has her hands tucked up under her chin, like when you're cold, you know. Yeah, something like this. Like you kind of go like this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but she's kind of not quite like that. It's more like that. So she was gripping the end of the sweatshirt with her hands, and so that tells me that she was dressed before she was killed. And I think this is literally a over-the-head shot that they traced. Pretty much. I mean, it's almost exactly like that. So there you have that shot right there. And I say thank you to Florence White there, Christy Smith, and Timothy Cecil. Okay, then we've also got the Richard Allen westbound at 1:27:38. Now, obviously, they corrected the time, so it looks like it was 50-something minutes off. Looks like one of them didn't correct for daylight savings time, and then it was 6 minutes off from that, something like that. But anyways, there's the vehicle right there. They were able to determine the time on that was 1:27:38. Now, did Richard Allen have a station wagon 2015 Ford Focus? Because that's what it looks like to me. You know, when I look at the vehicle, and I can't tell, but some of the just regular 2016, black Ford Focuses don't seem to go back like that as much, but the station wagon looks exactly like that. So I'm not sure if that's what he had. I mean, if you look at this image right here, apparently this is his car. See how it kind of looks like more like a station wagon? See how it goes back? Yeah, so let's see what they look like. See, that sort of looks like that. I mean, this one, that, not really though. But if you do the station wagon, like even that one right there, that looks just like a regular sedan in the back. See how it goes down? I don't know if you can see that, but But if you put the station wagon in there, now that looks to me like that vehicle. Okay. And it's still a 2016 Ford Focus, but it's the station wagon version. Like that car right here, even though it's blue, looks like that one. You see what I'm saying? That one looks just like that. So I don't know if what he had actually. You know, so when you look at that, it looks like that, but when you put a regular one in, some sort of look like that, but they don't quite. I mean, it's amazing the difference when you're just looking at images, the difference they all seem. Thank you, Allie Cake. Yeah, I mean, for example, that doesn't look like that. And that doesn't look like that one either. I mean, we are looking at it from a weird angle, however. But man, that one there, if I was to say that this vehicle looks very similar to that, and it's a 2016 Ford Focus station wagon.
Hi, Nick here.
Jesus, it's going to start playing a video. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm just saying it looks. It's not a minivan. It doesn't. It's a black Ford Focus. That's his car. They know what kind of car it is. So it looks like that. See? Even has. I mean, one thing though. I mean, it has that window, that one, and then a smaller window right here, and so does the regular black Ford Focus. See, if I was going to, I'm just saying, like look at that. That's a 2016 black Ford Focus. You see how the back goes down over there? See that? That just, to me, that doesn't look the same if it was just a regular Ford Focus. All right, give us a side shot. Come on. But that's the only thing you don't have. See what I mean? How it goes down pretty quickly. It's not a sustained straight back. Look, that goes back. And that's why I can see them saying it looks sort of like a PT Cruiser. If you look at that image right there, and then you type in a purple PT Cruiser, look, I mean, I know it doesn't look exactly the same, but you can see, this is what I was trying to tell you guys a long time ago. You can see the resemblance slightly, right? Because it goes back and then straight down, and that one goes back, straight down, basically, slight angle, and then up like that. That's what if you were just kind of glancing, you might see something that looked like that. You see it? That was what one of the people saw, but I don't see it looking like that. So it's got to be the station wagon. And I guess this is a one here too. Yeah, you're saying a hatchback? Okay, let's see what that looks like. 2016 black Ford Focus hatchback. Yeah, so maybe, I mean, that's what I was just looking at. Okay, so to me it doesn't look like that. That, I mean, this is apparently is his vehicle right here, but see how it just kind of looks like a long straightaway on the top of the car, a long flat area. I don't really see that on these. That one, I mean, I guess the angle we're looking at it, it could be like if you were down there that this slopes back. And I guess if I rotated it like that, it would actually slope the other direction. Hey, thanks Donna for gifting a membership. Yeah, without the little wing in the back, I guess. I mean, that's what this one is, right? I mean, that's what these are. So let's see if we can find one from the side. Oh, I guess you can rotate it. See that? I don't know, man. I don't see that. Do you guys see that at all? Maybe that's not a hatchback there. But I mean, this just goes straight back. And look what the back window is right here. See that? It goes down there. This one, the back window, it keeps going out straight that direction. You guys see what I'm saying, right? And if you can, it's willfully ignorant. Because it literally goes straight back. And in here, it goes down at that back window, which is right there. And then it goes straight out. Right. However, the station wagon looks absolutely like that. So I don't know when you guys say hatchback, you know. Maybe is that the one? No. Let's see. 15 black Ford Focus hatchback. Okay, so that one, like they were just saying, if you got rid of that fin, it does still kind of keep going back and then down over here like that. So I guess that one could be, but then that looks a little weird how it goes up a little bit in the front there. I don't know. I mean, that one there, see how that looks different than that one? It does go back further. So let's see what happens with the, yeah, so there you go. That one could be similar. See that? There you go. Okay, so I think this is the hatchback you're talking about, right? So there you go. I think that right there looks like it's it. Okay. This one. Even the lights look the same. Everything. Very similar to that car right there. Okay, good. It was kind of throwing me off there. It's amazing to have that many different looks for one sort of like 2016 Ford Focus. There's like 19 different looks. I'm gonna put this image in there. Let me save it. I'm gonna get this in the Photoshop here. This is I don't know if you saw this one, Zozo, but here's the image inside the car when they were driving over to be dropped off. And it looks like she even in that image has the gray hoodie on. I'm talking about Abby back there, and also the sort of pink or maroon looking undershirt that she has. You can see it. See, right there, and then that's the gray outside. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure if it's the same there Ford. I don't know what that means. All right. Let's see. So I think this one looks pretty good right here. I think this one here looks pretty good. So I'm gonna let me see if I can just do the remove the background perhaps. Will it work? Will it just no? It's pretty good. Let me get rid of this stuff down here. That's stupid. Okay. That's right. That is, I think I need to be right here. Shit. God. Idiot. Oh, that's that one. I meant to put this one on. I was wondering what was going on there. I just want to, I don't want this little thing sticking out. It's going to be a crappy wheel there, but I don't really care. All right, let's see. So we got that one. That should be pretty much what his car looked like. By the way, I wonder if he was sitting in that. Was he sitting in that car when his wife walked up to him and took that picture, that video? I was just kind of wondering if we could go back and watch that, if we could tell. That'd be pretty interesting. You know what was weird about that video is he seemed to be sitting in the front passenger seat. I don't know if that was just my memory, but... All right, here's the image right here. I'm going to put this in here and just kind of look at it. Okay, just going to put that right there with this on the top. So you got to keep in mind it's also at an angle so the car appears shorter than it is. So it's really just kind of, I mean, that is really, you know, I mean, that's just right on the money. So what you'd have to do to make it look similar is to make it like that, because the vehicle is, let me show you from above. I know exactly where that was. Hey, for those of you who aren't channel members out there, you might consider becoming a channel member. Got some cool emojis, etc. Be part of the Grant Hughes Investigates team, as it were. Yeah, so that video is, this is the Hoosier Harvest store. Now let me look at that again. I'm gonna look at the wide one on a different. Okay, so that's not far in, it's on that. There's the parking area, so it's right. That's interesting. So that's the parking area. It's like this. This is the shot. Basically, right. See that? It's about like this. I don't know if you can see that or not, but see that? See? And then the vehicle's driving over there. So if you think about it, the car's going that direction, and therefore it's going to be, it's kind of going away from the camera, so it's going to be sort of, the car is going to be shorter looking, because it's not directly from the side. Yeah, see that you gotta. I wish I had a 3D model of it, because you'd have to rotate it. See how you can see the back window? you can't. Pretty similar looking though, you know. I mean, look at that. It's just gonna be, it's gonna look different though if you rotate it, and the front won't look the same after you rotate it and get the right angle on there. So there you go. What do you mean? What do you mean the cars over the years? Why not release the footage of the car over the years? What do you mean? I don't know what that means. And don't say, huh? I just don't know what it means. Why not release the footage of the car over the years? Oh, you mean why didn't they release the footage over the years? Yeah, what? Yeah, I knew you'd do it. So you mean why didn't they release the footage a few years ago? Not over the years to mean like a different shot every year or something. Let's see. Hey, Gray and Chad. Hey, what's going on? That looks like my mom's old Dodge Caliber. It's 7 o'clock. Iced tea. I like unsweetened iced tea for some reason. You know, and a great way to support the channel is using the Buy Me a Coffee option. We currently have no coffees sent. And if you're out there and you want to support my channel, options are super chats, the Buy Me a Coffee, become a channel member, etc. If you can't afford it, then just watch the videos and like the videos and share the videos and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, they should have released the footage of the vehicle at the beginning, if that's what you're saying. I think what you're saying is, why not release the footage of the car years ago? Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, isn't it? Why didn't they? Somebody could have said, I mean, I guess maybe they were scared that if they put that out there before. I mean, what's weird to me is why didn't they try to figure out what exactly that was with a professional and say, yeah, that looks like one of these, and see who owns one of those vehicles in the town even. I mean, it seems like there's only a few cars that could be the types, and then you do a little search in the town, and then there you go. Oh, look at that. We've got 2 people that have one of those. Yeah, darn it. I mean, I wish I could turn it. I almost see that little fin thing right there. But if I had this 3D model of this and just could rotate it, it would be an exact match. It would just be so easy to tell. Look, it has the correct slope there. You just can't see the window. See, it's going away from us. I wonder if there's a way to, like, if I skew it and sort of make it look slightly. Nah, it doesn't work. Hey, thank you to Caroline for the coffee. Did you just start following the case, Maddie? Yeah. It's right over here. That vehicle's driving right there. Here's the drop-off point where Abby and Libby were dropped off. Then they walked the trail all the way to the bridge right over here. It's just like we've gone over this probably, I don't know, 15,000 times, exactly where everything is. So there's where the camera, there it is right there. That's that little cement thing that you see below the image even. Watch. So here it is. That image is easier to see it. So right there, that block, and there's that block right here. So the camera's just a little bit north of that, I would say. So the camera is likely right here. I'm going to put it back here, about right there. So there you go. And the car was probably driving somewhere right in that area, and then it makes its way around to the abandoned CPS building, parks, walks this direction, then the 4 girls walk by. He remembers seeing 3 of them. They saw him and he saw them. They both, all of them admit it. The person they saw was Bridge Guy. And then he walks this direction. That was probably at about 1:34. Gets over here at 1:45-ish. Betsy Blair gets out of her car at 1:47. Starts walking this way. Does not pass Richard Allen. And then she gets to the barricade and looks out, and there he is, standing on platform 1, the exact platform that Richard Allen himself admitted to standing on. Richard Allen was wearing clothes consistent with Bridge Guy. Richard Allen admitted to killing the girls, and even explained how he crossed the bridge and he killed them. So yeah, he's the killer, everybody. We're just putting, post-trial pieces of the puzzle together. I wonder if there's anybody out there that at one point thought, oh, I don't know if he did it, but after watching the interrogation videos, etc., now don't think that. Right. Apparently that's a car, that's his car over at the CVS pharmacy. All right, well, anyways, that's it. That's all I got for that. Okay, so now we're switching over to the Idaho 4 case. I'm sure most people had shown up for that, and I've already taken off because I dared to talk about something else for a few minutes. There was 300 people, and boom, out of here. It's crazy. I don't know what that means. Oh, you mean like street view shots of it? Is that what you're talking about? I guess we could look. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's no street view in the entire town. I guess that's what a problem is. I mean, we could look right here and go through, like maybe back in time. Is there a car parked in the... Yeah. I mean, he lived there at this time. I think 2000. I mean, there's a vehicle there, but he wouldn't have owned it by then, right? So it has to be past 2016. There's 2017. Maybe that's it right there. Is that possibly it? That's not it. So, if they don't have too many cars there, and that's a dark vehicle, looks black, that might even be it. Look, it even sort of seems like it's straight back there and flat-ish, where now then in the front it goes down, so it kind of has that look. Even looks like it's the top of the car is where direct sunlight's hitting it, and then it starts sloping away, and it's a little shadier over here because it's not directly perpendicular to the sun. I don't know. Did the Karen Reed case start today? I mean, if you think it'll help my channel, I might do it. I just feel, that case is sort of not interesting. Thanks, Kami. Lurk mode tonight. All right, guys, if you're out there and you can help support the channel, I'd appreciate it. We are currently at 1/12 of a nightly goal, so if you have the ability to, that would be awesome. If not, no worries. I believe opening statements are on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you mean? Or wait, tomorrow's Wednesday. You mean next week Tuesday, or today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, I mean, Karen Reed. I mean, we would cover it differently than other people. Because we would just look at it and be like, okay, yeah, You know, I don't get caught up in what's cool or not, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you had a truck. The only car that matters, though, is the black Ford Focus 2016. And that actually looks like that might be what that is. This is 2018. What time of day is this? I could tell you what day it is. I'd have to go open my 3D Studio Max open, and it tells you the date, though. It looks like July 12th, 2018. And you can see the shadow direction here. It's kind of interesting how that shadow doesn't match that one. I wonder if they stitch stuff together. Because this shadow looks like the sun's coming from that direction. Like that. And so if it was coming from that, this shadow should be more over here. You can even see... Huh, that's weird. Yeah, see, look, even the shadows there don't match that one. And they do that, by the way. The camera's moving and it starts stitching images together. Especially when they do the 3D buildings as well. Anyways, I think that's it. You know? The trial transcripts are going to be out there at some point. It's going to cost $1 a page, and I have a feeling there's going to be, man, I don't know, man. God, I would say each. I bet you there's over 1,000 pages. There's got to be. All right, has to be. But like I said, I'm going to go buy them. So. Yeah, I think it was the 2000. You're saying that. Well, I don't know who this is, but this truck we're looking at, he was already arrested and they were moved out. So I didn't realize what I was until just now, Zozo. So this truck really is absolutely irrelevant now because this is from February 10th, 2024. So it has no bearing on anything because they moved out of there way before that. Yeah, I just don't really want to follow it. See, the Karen Reed case is one of those ones where if you don't fall in line with all of this, the people have just watched every second of it. Oh, it's just so... it's just, you get ridiculed, etc. I would want to do it from, I covered it, I think the whole case one time on a show, and it was kind of interesting, you know, what they're coming up with, etc. But I don't want to be in the, oh, Gray, that's bull crap. You see, because Karen's cousin told so and so this and this and you know, okay. Yeah, there was another car. Yeah. That's not, but he didn't own a truck. That's in that video there. That's not there. He did have another car. And he did say he doesn't know what car he drove. He said he would sometimes drive that one if he was doing this, that, or something else. he explained when he would use it, I guess. I think the cops did him in and threw him out in the snow. Yeah, okay. So that's what you guys want to be talking about? Like, as soon as Karen Reed's name got brought up, everybody started going, ooh, 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 ooh. Is it really, let me just ask, is it really that interesting? Like, I think the Delphi case is 10,000 times more interesting. There's a whole bunch of different things going on. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what makes Karen Reed, because it's just so popular. It's just, ugh, God. But hey, maybe I should. I mean, look at tonight on the show. We're just getting crushed again. We are currently at $18.98 and 3 new members and 1 coffee. So, real big struggle tonight. We'd have Donna on a PayPal. Thank you very much. Let's see. The crazies have turned it into the biggest conspiracy of all. Maybe that's what it is. What do you think? My thing is, I think it's possible she just sort of accidentally ran over him, and she drove away, and then the police are overcharging her, and so she's not going to accept that. But I think if people said, yeah, I think she just kind of accidentally did it, but then you're going to go, they didn't do it at all. It's a conspiracy. All the cops and everything. And they... Okay, well, maybe. Sure. I mean, I guess conspiracies do happen sometimes. Anyways, I'm going to go back. We're switching cases now. I wanted to talk about what the video today was about. All right? And see what people come up with. Yeah, she would be. I think she should be charged with maybe like vehicular manslaughter, or something like an alcohol. Somebody who was drinking might do. That's what I think. But then, the people that think she's innocent think there's this massive cover-up. So if you don't say that, they go, "Oh, that's bullshit, Gray." Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, some of the stuff doesn't look right. The damage to the lights, etc. Hello, Laney Carter. Well, it is more interesting. I mean, I guess it could be whatever case that you're interested in is more interesting, right? I just don't find... I mean, we covered that one night. It was pretty interesting, but I don't know. Injuries are from a car. Do you think? I don't know. There's a lot of oddities in it, for sure. Didn't he have dog bites? Well, that's what somebody said, and the other people said no. But hey, you guys, what are the chances you're out there and you might be able to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel so that we can continue to do live streams and be able to do all the great stuff we do at the end of the month. Last month, this channel gave out $5,000 to various true crime-related charities, and I'd like to be able to continue to do the same thing. And the only way to make that happen is if the people watching the show support the channel on a nightly basis from various different people, etc. All right, so if you have the ability to, I would appreciate it. Thank you. All right, okay. Yeah, so I was looking at this again. When you look at the Xanacronodal bag here, I don't know, just kind of thinking to myself, like if I if I got a bag of, people think this right here indicates a struggle. I couldn't disagree more. This little dirt here, it's like, what if there was a struggle there? This thing would be turned over. What did the guy do? Reach in and grab dirt and then dump it out on the? It just doesn't make any sense. You know, I just think somebody was planting or, you know, whatever they were doing, and just a little dirt got out and they never cleaned it up, because that's what you do when you're in college. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, Susan. When people can't support, I don't need an explanation why. I explained many times that if people can't afford it, to not send in support. But as you can see tonight, we're having one of those really different kinds. Yeah, I mean, it looks light. You know, see how it's sitting on the faucet over there? It's not like, it doesn't look like there's any weight on it. I just think it's a strange place to put a bag. So you grab it outside and you come inside and you'd probably put it on a counter, maybe right here where this 5 is right here. Maybe, right? Put it there, but do you really put it behind the sink? I mean, it seems sort of awkward to put it over there in general. I mean, no matter how, I guess that's just one of those things, right? You don't really need to know it. That's where the bag is. I mean, if you got a plate, you'd probably do it over on a different table, and then somehow the bag, you put it right behind there. Oh, jeez. There we go. Yeah, I think I downloaded yesterday's. I didn't upload it, though, but it's amazing. You know, Lori is, you know, she obviously planned the killing, but she's defending herself and bringing up points, you know. I don't think she'll be found not guilty, though. Thank you, Alley Cake. The truth is, though, how do you actually disprove? How do you prove that she didn't, or that she did do that? Because there's no direct information where she said, "Hey, I'm going to plan to do this." There's times where, you know, Charles, they probably deemed that. Did they play Charles talking to the cops, where he said that she planned to kill him? Because that might have been deemed too prejudicial. I don't know. I hardly got any views on those. It takes so many. Putting together the Daybell trial was taking hours to do, and then nobody watched it. And when I say nobody, I mean 600 views is pathetic. I think it actually hurt my channel, to be honest. I mean, I might. I don't know. It's just, I did yesterday's. I have it in a folder. I didn't make the video part of it. I just have the raw file. No, she doesn't see zombies. It's garbage. So I think you understand her perfectly. She's lying. Yeah, and it could be that even if Lori did bring him there in case something happened, that it literally turned into a fight or something like that. Because it's interesting how everybody had the same story, and yet, so here's the thing: is you could look at it like this: if Tylee was so like a zombie that they needed to kill, and the entire killing was staged, and she was given a story to tell, and she executed it so perfectly, why would you then kill her later? You would then realize, wow, she's got my back. Look how she completely... So I think the story that Tylee told, as I've said for the whole time, is a real story that happened. I just think that the fight was planned by Lori and Alex,
and even intentionally wanted Kylie to see it. And then Lori removes all of them right before the shooting actually happens. So it all makes sense. Oh my God, yeah, he was being violent. Yeah, there's fighting. And then the shooting, and there's no way to disprove except when Charles is on the ground, there's a gunshot at a crazy angle. And he didn't call the 911 operator for 47 minutes or something. So, that's going to cause some problems. I think they will find her guilty. Yeah, 100%. I'd be shocked. Unless there's a conspiracy theorist on there. Let's see. Her performance as attorney shows she was actually sane. Right. It shows that she isn't as dumb as people thought. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Egyptian Princess and Lisa Valenzuela. Today's court, cell phones, so Lori was not there or he was killed way before 911 call. Well, he was killed way before the 911 call. He was killed, and then they went to get some food, and she took a long time, then comes back after, I think he called her, if I remember correctly. I mean, you think they're going to find her like a hung jury? I could see that. There might be some nutter out there, but saying not guilty, man, that'd be pretty tough. Especially, not calling 911 for so long, the gunshot angles, the previous threats, them trying to get the life insurance so quickly, her not just everything about it. Circumstantially, you would think, man, there's no way. It's not. I don't think it's as strong circumstantially like as Koberger or something like that. But getting out of jail either way. I don't know. I mean, what arguments do you think she's making that are so good? Well, what are her very good points? Go ahead, tell me them. Yeah, they were idiots. They seemed to just believe Alex Cox right at the beginning. I'm just wondering what her good points were, like the ones. I mean, I do hear her say stuff that you go, "Oh, that's not bad." Yeah. Well, I think they were waiting for the other case. That's why she wasn't charged. Because once you have the other case, you can use that in this one. That she makes green enchiladas at every family gathering. No, I just want to know what the good points are, like the ones that, ooh, like a gotcha moment. I didn't hear yesterday's. And I don't really care what the medical examiner said. Alex Cox, somebody killed him, or he did it himself. There's no way he randomly dies the day that, or the day after, or whatever the hell it was, that Tammy Daybell was exhumed. I mean, give me a break. So that means when she was exhumed, that's when the rest of the clan, the cult realized, oh, wow, they're going to start investigating these deaths. And then the guy that actually shot at her the first time ends up dead? I mean, give me a break. The odds of that being a coincidence is just astronomical. Yeah, I just, yeah. It's hard to take the time to upload something that has so little return on it. It's just, takes like 2 hours to edit the thing, then you upload it, takes like an hour and a half to upload it, and you gotta sit there and watch it, and then once it's ready, you upload it, and then you get 600 views and maybe make $7.20 or something. It's like, would you do that? I don't think so. That's like $2.70 an hour. Let's see. Her own brother Adam said he believed that she and Alex conspired to kill Charles. Right, but they didn't check Alex because he was already like, oh, you mean, but why is that a big deal that the ambulance didn't check Alex? I'm just curious. Like, I heard her say that, and to me that means like, wow, Alex wasn't even hurt that much. It seemed like, yeah, they went with what he was saying, and he wasn't acting like, oh, my head's really bad here, I need some, maybe they should have just sent somebody over to take a look at it, but I don't think that indicates guilt or has any, how do you think that affects, like, if he's guilty or not? Do you think it would have helped, like, oh, wow, there would have been a report and it would have looked really bad, and then that would have looked better in their favor because it would have looked like a fight happened? Maybe that's the case, I guess. Are you a trained psychologist? When detective kept saying how unusual her affect was. Right. But it was, right? I mean, you can just see it on the video. So I don't know if that's a good point or not, because you can see her laughing and making little jokes and, what? Hi, neighbor. That part. That's just not normally what you do when your spouse was killed in a house right next to you. It's a little strange, gotta be honest. All right. Well, what do you guys want me to talk about now? I was hoping if we could avoid having our worst night in the history of the show, I would, if you guys could please help support the channel, that'd be great. We're currently at $18.98. Not good. Yeah, but I mean, you could see it in the room. He must not have made it sound like it was that bad. He had an open laceration, right? Yeah, I mean, I heard him say that. It just doesn't seem, it wasn't really strong anything. It just means, okay, it helps the self-defense argument. I guess that's what it is. So she could say, hey, maybe if you looked at the laceration more, you would have realized that it was much more severe than you guys are making it sound now. I don't get it, Timothy. What does it mean? Gray Cindy LOL. What does that mean? Yeah, I mean, I guess that if that's what the argument is, it's not a bad attempt at trying to say, hey, if you'd done your report right, you'd probably realize that he was struck in the back of the head. What about it? I just don't understand it, Timothy. I don't get what you're saying. I mean, when you say she has a case, it's really weak. I think the evidence against her trumps any of her attempts to try to make something seem a certain way, in my opinion. We'll see, though. You never know. I mean, every single analyst out there says that she's doing a hell of a lot better than they could imagine, that they ever thought. Like, I thought she'd be horrendous. Yeah, how do they know he gave the bag directly to Xana? How does anybody know that? How does anybody know that they handed it right to her? Now, I think it's just circumstantially proving something. Like, if you start building a bunch of stuff together, he doesn't call 911 for 45 minutes. He came there with a gun. There's two different stories of why he brought the gun. One was, hey, I was going to take him target shooting. Lori says, no, he brought the gun to protect me. And then she's holding the phone to sort of annoy him, and she never gives it back to him. Then there's this fight going on, and then, you know, he's shot, and then shot from an angle where he was already on the ground, which isn't needed. He wasn't doing CPR when he called 911 because he waited for him to die. Calls 911 way later. Then you start having, like, you know, Mr. Potato, Chad calling the funeral home, etc., or whatever it was, trying to make arrangements, and people talking about trying to get the funds really quick, and, you know, she said that she could kill him, deemed him a zombie. You know, who knows? You know, I guess it just kind of depends on how people want to look at it. Hey, thanks, Lainey Carter and Stephanie Sprague. We are currently at 1/10 of a nightly goal. I thought tonight's show was pretty interesting. Yeah, Lori's a nutcase. Yeah. Although, you know, she's probably smarter than... here's what I've always thought about Lori. That she wasn't as dumb as people thought and was actually using Chad to gain power and use Chad to actually get him. They worked together to come up with sort of a theory in their cult to be able to kill people and take out other cult members, and then probably even devise a plan to start getting life insurance policies. I mean, that sort of takes some thinking, right? The problem is they had a really bad hitman. Alex missed twice. He missed, thank God, too, right? He missed, what was her name, Tammy? I can't remember, but also tried to shoot Brandon Boudreaux. Missed both of them. They even took out the seat, made it all convenient for him. Missed. Why did they zap her, Susan? Why did they zap her today, though? I don't know. That's hard to believe. They zapped her in court. I don't agree. I don't believe that. I just can't imagine that. She'd have to be really acting up for them to do something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Sully. Who knows, Sully? Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how the light was on in Xana's room. The light was probably on in Madison's room. We've gone over that 100 times, you know. So, I mean, it's like you don't even have to say it out loud. It's just kind of obvious. So anyways, we got this bag right here. And it looks like it's empty. So she probably took the food out maybe a couple sandwiches. Maybe she just sort of put it there. And, I guess the key to this is, was the bag put there? You wouldn't put the bag there after you've already eaten, right? You go to your room, you just crumble the bag up and throw it in the garbage can, right? So it almost seems like she got the food first and then put the bag there and then took the food away, because I don't think anybody would go to your room with a bag, eat the food, and then go back into the kitchen and gingerly place the bag on the back of the sink, right? You're going to do something to it. Throw it in the garbage, for example. All right, you guys, we currently got 312 people, 5 memberships. That's it. And we're at 1/10 of the goal. Wearing a leg Bennett. I have been seeing people have the remote in their front. I don't know what that means, man. Jeez. Yeah. Hey, there it is. Hey, thank you, Plato, and thanks everybody who's helped tonight so far. Appreciate that. Thank you, freaks, for supporting the channel if you're able to. Okay. Well, thanks, Plato. I mean, I say it. Hopefully you're saying it has an effect. Mine doesn't. Garage was probably full. No one took out the garbage. That doesn't make any sense. That has nothing to do with... I'm talking about this bag sitting on the counter. It's just a DoorDash delivery. I think that's where you would put it if you had taken the food out once you got it. Okay? You don't put it there after you've already eaten. Come back to the kitchen and just set it there nicely and open. You're going to crumble it up. Yeah, no, I'm just saying... I mean, I know it's just there. I said that a minute ago. What I'm saying is when you get the bag, I'm saying if you took the bag to your room to eat the food, are you really going to go back to the kitchen with the bag like that? Just perfectly square, as if you just reached in and pulled something out of it. I think that indicates that the food was removed in the kitchen and the bag was just sort of, put over there. And then they ate their food somewhere else. And I just think that, like, if you were in your room and you ate it, you would crumble it up, the bag. You're not going to carry the bag like you're carrying a feather or something down the hall so it doesn't crumble, and just, and then just put it nicely, lightly back behind there, right? I think most people, like 99.9% of people, if you got a DoorDash bag, would take the bag back to the room, eat the food, and crumble it up and put it somewhere. You wouldn't, after you've already eaten all the food, come back to the kitchen and lightly place it back behind the sink. So hopefully that makes sense. That just doesn't make any sense. So to me, it seems like she got her food, and then maybe at the end, maybe she put the food on a plate or something. Not likely, but let's say she did or whatever. And then goes to the room, and then maybe she was on her way back to the kitchen to put the plates or a glass or get a glass of water or some drink or something. And maybe that's when Koberger was either, coming down from upstairs or literally coming into the house at the time, because remember, he comes into the house at probably like 4:10, okay? And the DoorDash was delivered at 3:59 and some odd seconds. And so she probably didn't get it till, it's possible she went to get it at 4:10, right? Hey, it's there, and she doesn't quickly run over and get it, but most people do. So I would say the DoorDash delivery said, hey, your food's here, and she went over and got it by 4:01-ish. Something like that. But Koberger's nowhere near the house at that time. In fact, at 4:01, he's on Ridge Road with his license plate being filmed, while Xana is likely getting the DoorDash in the kitchen. He's over there. And then at 4:04 is when he finally makes it back around, enters the facility, and then looks up and sees Xana's lights on. And then at that point, that's when I think he did the 3-point turn behind 500 Queen Road and then drove back out to look at it again, and then does a U-turn at Queen and King Road. Yeah, so at 4 o'clock he comes in like this, does a 3-point turn, drives back this way, does a U-turn here, comes back, and then he's really slow right through this area, still looking, watching, and then he starts accelerating around, does this really quickly on the last one, and then at 4:07 and 28, it's heading right there, and then I think it's at 4:07 and 47 seconds. The headlights are, as it's just turning right here, are a beam off of this building right here, and that's when it's about to park. So the vehicle probably parks at right around 4:08, and then I think he doesn't go into the house until about 4:10, and then leaves the house at what do you mean wrong screen? I'm showing what I want to show, Chuck D's. Why don't you go run your own show somewhere? Wow. Let's see. So we got Florence White, her autopsy would show it, and her stomach was full. Who are you talking about? Oh, Xana? Yeah. Right. Basically, the food in Xana's stomach and Ethan's stomach, if they ate the DoorDash, would be almost completely intact. Like it wouldn't even have had any time to digest whatsoever. We're talking about, I think they were killed within 10 minutes of the time that they ate their food. Yeah, it's good to see Plato in here out of her cellar. She wasn't drooling down there though. She was hiding from tornadoes. Yeah. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Chuck D's. You're way behind on the show, man. You're way behind. I've been on the screen for a long time. Okay, you make another comment. See you later. All right, let's see. You're on rewind. Yeah, he's not even close. Hey, look at that. It's Jim Lawn. Thank you very much. What the hell is a gigawatt, he said.
1.21 gigawatts. What the hell is a gigawatt?
Yeah, there you go. Right. And I thought some of the cool stuff that I was talking about today was this right here, though. See, I hadn't really sat there and analyzed it, but I found that there's a website that was doing the, it showed the inside of 1122 King Road. Like, see you later, Chuck D's. Get the hell out of here, man. Nobody cares. Right, so there was a website, and they went dark for a while. It's like almost like they completely got rid of the site that had these images on it, and now they're all back out there again. I thought that was pretty cool. Isn't that? Have you seen the autopsy findings? No. How could we have seen the autopsy findings? Yeah, so there's one there. Yeah, so this is a good one to look at. So here we go. I'm going to open this up. So if you missed the video today, see, when you're looking at that, a lot of people thought those were like the upper cabinets and so forth, but they're not. See, that's the floor right there. At least that's what it looks like to me. Let me go back to the last shot. I can tell. Yeah, so I think that's the floor in the shot. And then look at this. So right there is the refrigerator door handle. I think there's a, yeah, so I think that's the widest shot that's in there. That's the refrigerator door handle. That's the side of the refrigerator right there. And then right there is the like cabinet, lower cabinet panel that has some liquid coming down it. So if we go back over there, let me get right. I got so many images open right now. It's crazy. Okay, let me open up this one again. So basically that liquid is coming down right there. And see, there's the side of the refrigerator. There's the panel, and it's coming down right there. Unfortunately, for people who think it's blood, it doesn't make any sense unless there was a horrendous cast-off, like arterial attack here in the kitchen. And it doesn't sound like that's the case. You know, it sounds like people were killed pretty much where they were. And through this wall right there is a bathroom. That's a bathroom right there. And here's another picture. I have a whole bunch of pictures. I think I'm gonna do a video tomorrow on the pictures. It's amazing the different looks that there are. I don't know why I can't open it up. Struggling. Open. Yeah. So I think that bathroom is the one behind Madison Mogan's room, I think. Like it goes right through there. And this is Madison Mogan's room right here. See, there's a door that comes in, there's the closet. Where this camera is right now is where the bed was. Right in the corner of that room, right where Kaylee Gonzalez was, is right where this is right here. This is Kaylee Gonzalez's room. And there's the deck. And it was sort of interesting. I was looking at it earlier. I think it's this shot right here. See, look at that. This shot here, you can see a car right out of her window. So that's in that back parking spot. So that's pretty interesting. And then right outside the door, there's a little rail for the stairs right there. So anyways, my version is like this. So there's the kitchen. I'm going to go back up. It's downstairs, up the stairs. This is Xana's room. So if you look right there, there's a bathroom. And so the blood would have to be coming out the wall at mid-waist size height, I mean, in this bathroom against that wall to be in the kitchen. Does that make sense to anybody? Yeah, it doesn't to me. There is blood, however, outside the house right below this bed right there. And that's Kaylee's room. There's the deck, so you can probably see that car right there. Same angle. And that's Madison Mogan's deck from her room. Hey, welcome, Cody Sheffield. All right. Thank you. That was a terrible house. It was a absolutely garbage. You know, came down like a. I think there was a 25-mile-an-hour wind that hit that sucker. It's down. That thing came down so easily. It was amazing. Not seeking the death penalty. What do you mean in this case? They are seeking the death penalty. Where'd you come up with that? They're absolutely going for the death penalty. Yeah, it was kind of like a Lego house. All right, we're currently at 20% of the nightly goal, you guys. So if you guys have the ability to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates YouTube channel, that's great. Don't feel like you have to do anything. I'm just talking to the people that may be showing up that can help support the channel, and that's how this live stream manages to stay afloat. I can't justify doing 3 hours a show there is no ad revenue on the live streams. I'm just letting you know. Very little, unless you have thousands and thousands of people watching. And I really only usually get like 300 or 400 watching live streams. A lot of people say they're too long and they don't have time, etc. So that, you know. Yeah, they just try to put more. Hey, Dirty Diana, you go ahead and try to free Rick Allen, okay? And you should be ashamed of yourself. He's a killer, okay? And you're one of the nut jobs out there that think that he's innocent, and that's absolutely scary that there's people like you that exist. Yeah, really, really strange stuff. That's why, Gray. Do you think somebody that would type in free Richard Allen is going to support my channel? Hell the hell no. Anyways, so you got that. Yeah, that was the other shot of the kitchen. So there's where the DoorDash would probably put it right there, right? And the bag was put right back here by that sink. So you get the bag, maybe you put it, I don't know. People just do whatever they're gonna do, but I don't understand why. Where it is sort of indicates that the food was taken out first, because I don't know if you go out of your way to put the bag back there. All right, then we also have this shot. This is what people were talking about on the show not too long ago, that maybe he parked right over down there. I guess, even on the street down there you can park. And you can see up here. And there's I think there's steps right there perhaps. I can't remember. Let me go back a little bit. There's Genesis. Man, he's famous. Thanks, Allie Cake. Well, it's about these kids' age takes her DoorDash food right to her room and eats it on her bed. Right. I think that's kind of... Well, the thing is if it was delivered in the kitchen, maybe you wouldn't take it just straight to your room, because, then you could put it on a plate or whatever if you wanted to. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, who the hell does that? I don't even see a kid doing that. Getting a plate to put a burger or whatever the hell they got on it. Well, how do you know what the grand jury said, Laney Carter? You said, I think Bethany actually saw him, per the grand jury, supposedly. Okay. That's why the text said Xana. Why would that make... How does that correlate? I don't understand what you're saying. Right. Hey, thanks, Allie Kohler. I put DoorDash on plates, but for my kids, I'm a mom. Right, that makes sense. Would you put it on a plate if you were bought one yourself in college days? Yeah. Right. So she probably, what, like, I mean, how did the bag get where it was, though? I mean, I get it. Like, do you guys, how about this? Do you think, I'll do a poll on it. I think this will be a good poll. Do you think she took, or do you think Xana took the contents of the bag out in the kitchen and brought to the room? All right. So that's my poll question is, do you think Xana took the contents out of the bag, took the contents of the bag out in the kitchen, and then went to the room like with the burgers or whatever? Yeah. Hey, I'm pretty old myself, Susan. I'm pretty old myself. I gotta be honest. Hey, thanks so much up there to Sandy Z's Serious. Or how about Sandy's Serious, right? Sandy's Serious. The only channel I support. Thanks for all you do. Hey, thanks, EB Clonin. Or Clownin. EB Clownin. Is that it? EB Clownin? Is that right? I think I got it. Hey, Jim Lon said, Zozo gets her deliveries from the pouch of a kangaroo. That's not very good. Hey, thanks, Scarlett. Thanks, Gray. You rock. Hey, appreciate it. Kitchen trash was probably full, and so she left it there at the sink. But look where she left it at the sink. You know? I guess, you know what? The thing is, where it's left at the sink is a red herring. Because the thing is it's weird no matter what. That it's right where it is, okay? It just doesn't make sense logically for somebody to get a DoorDash delivery, and then in the kitchen you put the food, you take the food out of the bag, put it on the counter, and then place the bag gingerly, wide open, just so perfectly behind the sink over there. And then it really doesn't make sense if you took the bag to the room and ate in the room, and then later brought the bag back to the kitchen in that condition right there, where it's just like not even folded or anything. It's just so perfect. You see? See, those are the kind of things, like, for me, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't affect the... what it could do is help us decide... The only thing that this matters on is it might help us decide when Xana confronted Koberger. That's it. Other than that, it's absolutely meaningless. Has nothing meaning to anything. I don't know. Maybe it's full, yeah. If it's full, that's a good point, I guess. So if it's full, then if it's full, then it means that perhaps she saw Koberger as she retrieved the DoorDash and never really had time to do anything with it. And then it's also possible to DoorDash from 2 days prior, or a week. Who knows? Those guys never clean up anything. Yeah, other than it could help timing if we knew, it has no bearing on the case at all. See what I'm saying? It's not even something I need to know the answer to. It's just like, oh yeah, I mean, if we knew that if there was still food in it, that would indicate something. So it looks like 70% of the people think that she just left the bag there after she grabbed the sandwiches or whatever out of it, and then just kind of, lightly just kind of threw it over there. And then somebody thought that this indicated a struggle, this dirt. And it's like, really? So the killer reached their hand into the bucket and grabbed a little bit and sprinkled it in the front? Because how did it get there? Well, that would mean the bucket would have had to fallen over for it to get there if it was a struggle. Because other than that, it just looks like somebody made a mess working with the plant and never cleaned that up either. Okay? That's what it looks like. If there was a struggle in there, that bucket would have probably fallen over. Not his hand gingerly reached in there and pulled out some dirt. Well, how do you know it was him, Gray? It could have been a her. Okay, it could have been a her. We just don't know at this point. We're still putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay? Was it Dylan Mortensen who put the dirt there next to the bucket? Ah, ha, 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 ha! We've just solved the case, everybody. Dylan Mortensen putting the dirt by the bucket has... Oh, wait a minute. Doesn't mean anything at all. Okay. Huh. Yeah. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I wonder if she got stuff out, saw Brian Koberger coming to the door before he saw her. Yeah, my original thought was he looks out the window and sees him coming down the embankment or around the corner as she's exiting the kitchen and says, "Hey, there's somebody here." And then wouldn't it be likely though at that point he would attack her first though, and then go upstairs? I mean, so the thing is, my theory about the knife sheath being a calling card or calling card is it's less likely if the attacks are upstairs first, not because, I mean, it could be the exact same thing. It's just statistically less likely because that's the first attack, and then you could argue, oh, it got knocked out. If it's the second one, then it's like really likely, more likely that it was left as a calling card. Just, probably mathematically, statistically, because, hey, it was the second one. He must have chosen to, but it's like, okay, he could have gotten a fight in either location and lost it. I think it was a calling card. No, they're not rare at all, I am Oni. Yeah. Not with serial killer wannabes and serial killers, so I don't know where you're coming up with that. That's exactly what they want to do. They do that. That's why there's a name for it. I don't know where you got that information. I think Xana and Ethan were first, then upstairs, then back down. And Xana was still alive, right? Right. Well, that was the theory that I put out there, Moofies. You remember that? Like I made a whole video on that exact theory. Why would Brian Koberger go in when he did, knowing someone just got food? Well, how does he know they got food? He didn't know what that car was. What made you think that he knew that they were getting food? I think he went in the house knowing that there might be somebody awake because he thought he could go through the kitchen and up the stairs, maybe avoid being seen. He was just ready to go. He wasn't going to... No, it's common for serial killers. I'm not saying every single one of them, but it's not like a really rare, oh my God, it's just incredibly rare. If it was, we'd all know about it. I mean, we wouldn't know about it at all. We'd barely hear about it. I think a person that's studying serial killers and then probably wants to be one is definitely thinking of all the little things that serial killers do. Yeah, so there's signatures, and that's different than a calling card. That's the way they kill somebody. It's not necessary for the execution of the crime. It's something extra. Something, you know, they say it unnecessary. So it's a signature that the killer has, like the particular way that they kill somebody. And other people kill somebody. Let's say you use a knife and you do this certain thing, and then another person kills somebody. They're both killing them, but they kill them differently with the knife doing their own thing, and that's a signature. Calling cards can be, you know, there's kind of an overlap in there we've discussed. Okay, well, there you go. 20% isn't rare at all, Imoni, is it? A rare would be something like, you know, 1 in 1,000. You just said 1 out of 5. That's definitely not rare, Imoni. So maybe do some more research. Come back to us next time. I've probably talked about everything that you could ever think of, Moofies. I guarantee it. I was a tech meetup tonight and told everybody about Grant Hughes Investigates. Great use of ChatGPT to analyze BK's criminology grad school papers and then ask it to predict how he'd do a crime. Yep. I don't remember exactly wording it like that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and there's some details that a lot of people wonder about that are absolutely insignificant, so I don't really spend time wondering. You know, like again, the whole Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk not calling 911. I don't wonder. I don't care. It just doesn't even, you know, like they didn't call for a certain amount of time. I understand why they might not have done it. Makes sense to me. I don't think they have anything to do with the killings, and therefore I don't question and sit around and wonder every 5 minutes about why they didn't call it, because if you're doing that, that means you think that there's something nefarious regarding them, and therefore you think they're involved in the case. And I've said this 100 times. That's why I just don't do it. Yeah, it looks too light, the bag. It looks like it's floating on top of the sink. That's what we were saying earlier. It doesn't look like there's any food in the bag. If there was food, you'd probably see it kind of, you know, it wouldn't be like this portion right here. There wouldn't be such a straight line right there. That's like an empty bag. So they took the food out and threw the bag there. So that means they ate in the room. And so I guess we'll actually find out that. Yeah, well, that's what I said. That's what I think. My opinion is that they took the bag, and everybody does. 74% of the people think the food was taken out and the bag placed right there. See up that there at the top? Thanks, Allie Cake. I don't know what you're referring to, Moofies. You haven't mentioned one yet. I haven't seen it. You just keep saying, okay, Great Hughes. Details you haven't talked about to any extent or mention often. What? What are you talking about? There's Alan McMahon, the pro-burger lurker. Not here, but he's not a pro-burger. He watches the pro-burgers. Comments on them. Let's see. I know you have spoken a lot about Ray, and from what I have seen from high-end detectives and high-end defense lawyers are saying Ray is toast, and more than likely he might not even testify. Who are these high-end attorneys, etc.? I don't think he's going to testify. I think the judge already kind of, you could tell in that last hearing is like, yeah, this is stupid. Yeah, well, maybe it didn't have one. You know? Well, see, look at right there. Oh, no, you can see it. See right there? There's the sticker that was once connected to here. And there's the fold right there, Zozo. So it is in there. I think I just didn't have it on the screen. There's the fold. There's the red sticker that was once connected to right there. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah. I'm showing it to you. See, there's the fold right here. And then there's the sticker that was once connected to that. Yeah, I think I had it zoomed in too much. I was like this, you know. So there it is, right there. Perhaps high end is the wrong phrasing, but people with okay. I remember when jumbo jacks cost $1. Come on, Moofies, I'm looking for the things that I don't talk about often. Maybe I can talk about them. I just want to see what you're referring to. You seem so sure. Let's see. What did you say to Adam? Right, you said, I believe this, but I went over, that's the theory that I made an entire video on. Talked about, and you said you had covered details. I know, but what you said, there's things that I don't talk about, and I was asking you what those were, and you keep not answering that question over and over again. It makes sense where he would be driving at night. Huh? I thought she was on her phone at 4:12. But I wondered about where... I know, but I don't read all of your comments. So when I ask you again, just put it in there so I can read it. Huh? Nobody knows out there where the food was found, so I'm not going to make a video on it. Where the food was when law enforcement arrived, I don't know. In their stomachs, maybe? Or I mean, they probably already ate the burger or whatever they ate. It doesn't take long to eat food. So if you got it at 4 o'clock, you start eating at 4:02. You know, you're probably done at 4:10. And that's when he's entering the home. Isn't that weird? So if you think about it like that, you know, they pick it up at 4:02. They're done eating at 4:10. Maybe Xana goes to the kitchen to get a glass of water or something to drink for both of them. And that's when she encounters Koberger. It could also be at like 4:13 or something. You know, they're eating their food. She's looking at TikTok. And then Xana is going to the kitchen. And that's when she says, hey, there's somebody here. And then he follows down and is attacking them at like 4:14, 4:15. Something like that. And she stopped using TikTok, you know, sort of eating TikTok, then stop using TikTok. I think the stop of TikTok is a pretty clear indication of like around the time things were sort of happening. But what's weird about that indicates early. If it stopped at 4:12 because they were being attacked, then that means that they were early in the attack. I mean, what's interesting also, you guys have seen my 7-minute video. So what if he parks at 4:08 and he's in the house by 4:09? He goes upstairs and he kills both Maddie and Madison and Kaylee by... gosh, I don't know, 4:12 even. That's 3 minutes. That's actually too much time. And then comes down, and that's when he's attacking Xana and Ethan, and then he goes, hey, where the hell's my knife sheath? Goes back upstairs. That's if it's not a calling card, right? Goes upstairs, looks for it, doesn't find it, comes down, Xana's still alive, and says, hey, it's okay, I'm here to help you. See, that kind of makes sense. That's that other theory that I've had. All right, hold on. Let me see. I got to get my answer. I'm trying. Yes, that is my point. We don't know where the food was. It's a detail. Wonder about. Right, yeah. You said I don't talk about it. Right, because we don't know we're not going to get to know the answer. Just from the time DoorDash was dropped off to when we think they were attacked is a very short time. Yeah, well, I think DoorDash was 3:59 and 47 seconds. I think it matches the key fob sound. Oh, wait. Sorry, I got that on the screen still forever. Hey, Gray. Hughes investigates. Alan just gifted a channel membership. Got one to Lindsay there. I always felt that DoorDash and felt she got DoorDash and shut the slider. You know what I think, you guys? I think the lock on the slider wasn't working. I'm almost certain of that. And you know why I am almost certain of that? It's because law enforcement was using chairs to keep it locked. Stools, folding them and making sure that they wouldn't open. Oh, okay, that's how it came across, Moofy's up there. Yeah, okay. You said stuff that I didn't talk about. I think that that sliding glass door was not working. Now, what question we might want to wonder about is on those multiple occasions that he was out there, apparently he was up near the crime scene like really recently prior to the murders. Like I think it was just days or maybe just a day or something. Did he go down there in the middle of the night and kind of break the lock somehow to make sure it didn't work, knowing that college students, they don't really care, you know. It's like, oh, hell, it broke. And he knew it was going to be unlocked that night. And it doesn't matter even if he didn't know. It likely he could just jimmy it open somehow. However, the fact that law enforcement used stools to keep it shut means that it wasn't working. And so I guess it's possible that he broke in that night and broke the lock going in, or he already knew it was broken. So what do you think of that? And we don't have 815 people watching. No chance. Likely the sliding glass door was locked. Wasn't locked, yeah. I'm absolutely certain that it was not locked, and I think it was broken. I don't think he sat out there and was, you know, jimmying a lock. Except, wouldn't that be interesting if that's what Xana heard? You know, somebody trying to get in. Hey, there's somebody here. Wouldn't that be interesting? But then she would be first attacked again. Yeah, it could have been broken, but doesn't it seem more likely that he's the one that broke it? And that way he'd know that it wasn't working, or he did come down and check it and could see that it wasn't working and just knew. So it could have naturally had been broken, and he knew that it was broken. But we know that it was broken because law enforcement would have just used the latch on there to lock it. Instead, they were using the stools. Isn't that just pretty good logic right there? I don't know, Gray. Maybe they thought that the... Okay. Let's see. The girls had nothing to do with the murders. Right. Right. I don't know where these people come from. They got stuck in... You know the Lori Daybell trial? The... what's that called? Limbo? The Veil? I think there's a lot of people in here that are sort of in this weird place that think a lot of really strange stuff about the Koberger case. Yeah. So I think I agree with Zozo about the bag. I think it's just empty, and it was there, and they took the food out of it, and that's where they put it. It makes more sense. I think nobody would think in here. So do you think that she would take the bag to the room and eat it, and then go back to the kitchen and place the bag like that behind the sink? Wouldn't you just crumble it up naturally almost, you know? Maybe women don't do that. You know, you're always saving the wrapper to wrap another present again if you can just unfold it perfectly. You know, I bet you, yeah, maybe when the DoorDash shows up the next time, she goes, hey, look, I still got this perfectly good bag here. Why don't you guys use it next time? I think she took the food out of the bag and accidentally knocked over the plant. I just think the plants, I bet that dirt's been there for a week. And it could even have been law enforcement when they came in. They were like, probably not though. They wouldn't make a stupid mistake like that. Yeah, that's what a guy would do. So to me, it's just, so the reason I'm looking at the timing of the bag is just to try to figure out a better, like when Xana was where, etc. You get it? Thank you, K-Me. And yes, you too out there, if you want to help support the Gray Hughes Investigates YouTube channel. We got the Buy Me a Coffees, we got the Super Chats, we've got the channel memberships. And if you've been following my channel all these years, our channel has a scholarship fund. At the end of the month, we donate money, and we have a scholarship fund. For the last 2 years, we've put $6,000 a year. 2 years ago, or about a year ago, we gave two $3,000 scholarships out, and this year we gave out three $2,000 scholarships, and we're well on our way to building up again. Now, if that's not making a difference, I don't know what is. Okay, so we've got that. We also have a DNA fund that we've put over $100,000 in to identify Jane and John Doe's. Very expensive stuff, but very necessary to do to give people's names back. We've got that. And we've also, supported NCMEC, RAIN, and Texas Equisearch quite a bit. Over 20,000 plus each of those. And that happens when we take my ad revenue and the super chats, etc. And at the end of the month, I'm able to give away and sort of the bulk effect and make a big difference out there. So if you are watching the show and feel like helping a channel that does all those things as well as cover true crime the right way by factually and logically looking at information, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Most of the time, it's easy to break in, even if they do have a stick. Because it shows you that, like, where was she when Koberger entered the house between 4:08 and 4:12? The bag doesn't matter. I've explained it. It just, the only thing the bag matters about, I've already said 4 times that the bag itself doesn't matter. It just, what it would mean to me is if the bag was crumbled up sitting on that counter, to me that would mean she likely took the bag to the room and then came back to the kitchen to put the bag and maybe get a glass of water or something like that. And then that might sort of tell us why she was out and about moving around when Koberger actually entered the house. This doesn't, if she did go to the kitchen and take it out, we just don't know when she grabbed it though, right? Like the DoorDash guy could have got there at 4 and she went to get it at 4:08. We don't know, We don't know what that was. Likely she got it right away, right? I mean, you're hungry, you order DoorDash, the driver says, hey, it's here, you just you go get it right away. That's what the normal people do, right? You don't let it sit out there for 10 minutes, especially out in the cold. By the time you brought it in, it'd be a brick burger, right? So that's the only thing that matters. It doesn't have any relevance to the case, as we've already said 5 times. Let's see. Yeah, maybe she was washing her hands and left it. Okay. When? After it was delivered? Yeah, she was on TikTok. Yeah, I mean, it's possible too, right? That she didn't go get it because she's on TikTok. That's what we were saying earlier. She's on TikTok. Then she goes over and gets her food outside. Maybe she was going to heat it up in the microwave if they have one. I guess we could take a look. I do not see a microwave in here. Unless, I don't think there is one. So, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to let your food sit out in 20-something degree weather, would you? For any length of time. Bag evidence that either Xana or Ethan were in that kitchen area right around the time BK. Right. That's all it means to me is it could help the timing of where Xana was. I guess it could be Ethan, but Xana's the one that said, hey, there's somebody here, right? It was a female voice. Law enforcement thinks it was Xana Kernodle, but Dylan Mortensen thinks it was one of the girls like Kaylee or something upstairs. Why would she sit her phone down for 15 minutes? What else would a 21-year-old be doing while waiting for food? Okay. Yeah, that's... What would make you hungry? I guess that's another question. What might make you hungry late at night? Actually, it can make you sleepy. Let's see. She split something on the counter and moved the bag. I don't know. That's just a complete guess. Solely, there's nothing points to that at all. See, I like when there's something that points to it instead of just randomly. Where? You see a knife sitting there that cut the sandwich? Yeah, she set the sandwich in the dirt and cut it. Right. Yeah, if you want the notebook, you can send. If you send $30 to PayPal, you just make sure I have the address. But normally the address is already sitting there. But you get the you get one of these, the GHI notebook. They're actually pretty good. You know, they got 80 pages in there. You know, some of them have footprints, some don't. You know, just depends on what I'm doing. And you get a stress ball and a pen and a poker chip. But currently we're still at about 45% of a nightly goal, if you can believe that. Soli, can you quit doing this again, please? You're just throwing shit out there just to... at the wind, hoping something sticks, and it's not fun, okay? It's not fun at all. Thanks. Jesus. Oh, you like the notebook? Yeah, cool. Let's see. How do we know that this is exact order? Yeah, we don't. I mean, I said earlier in the show, it's possible it was an order from 2 nights ago, but she did get a DoorDash, and that is a DoorDash delivery that says her name on it. So I would say it's likely that order. Likely, you know. I'd say 90-something%. I don't know. If what was spilled, what are you referring to? It says the stuff on the counter was spilled. What? What was spilled? I'm looking at Soli's comment. What are you talking about? This right here is dirt from the bucket there. How do you know, Gray? Maybe it's coffee grounds, you bastard. Well, that's a good point. I don't know. It could just be that it appears that it's dirt right below a bucket, and it was just coffee grounds. You know, maybe that right there is that little coffee thing in the sink that holds the paper. Oh, geez, Sully. Oh, boy. Long. That was way a long time ago in the show. The plant probably fell off of the window. Wow, so it landed perfectly like that? It's amazing. I'd say you're right that the DoorDash bag, if it was an old bag, there'd be signs of water, splash spots. Yeah, that's a good point, right? Somebody in the kitchen, there would have been a little bit of a splatter of water on there. It's a good one there, Plato. That's logic, common sense there. Yeah, I'm surprised you could even read it. It's hard to write in these notebooks. You know why? Because when you're writing, your hand's kind of on the spiral part in the middle, and you have to kind of like go like this. It's sort of hard. Plant was spilled previously during a... Yeah. I don't care about the plant, the little plant there, you guys. I never even thought twice about it. I looked at it and go, oh, some dirt came out of a bucket. What matters is there was DNA from Brian Koberger on a knife sheath. And if you're trying to look at timeline information, perhaps the bag here matters if we... You know, the consensus is the bag was left there, so she got it. But unfortunately, even with that knowledge, we don't know what time she literally went to the kitchen to get it. So now it's like, what does it even mean at this point? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the only thing that matters about the bag would matter if that is the DoorDash delivery, and she took the food out of it, and then it would show us that, well, I guess at that point it would show us that we can't determine anything. Had it been where it looked like it was crumbled up on the counter, I would think that'd be more likely that she did that after they ate their food, because normally you'd keep it in the bag, walk to the room, then go to the kitchen and maybe get a glass of water, and you threw the crumbled up bag on the counter to do something with on the day that everybody cleans the house. We just don't know either what time she went there to get it. We don't have any information. So we have DoorDash at 4-ish, like right at 4, let's say, and 3:59 they say, but I think it's 3:59:47. So we have DoorDash at 4 and her TikTok going off at 4:12, but I don't know what that means. Could her... Do you have to physically, like if you're in TikTok and you're not using it for a while, does it just stop by itself? Or do you have to physically click a button and sort of get out of the app? Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing if there was the receipt was on the front of that bag? It might even be on the back of the bag. But it'd be amazing if it was sitting there and you could like look at it. Maybe they don't even put receipts on these things. Since they leave them outside, it would allow somebody else to grab it and get information. I think blue's painting is over. It's on this one. That's blue right there. I've actually went back and watched our members only last show with Blue kind of recently. Kind of made me sad. Yeah, they have their own thing here because they just walk around and, like I said, we actually see that thing on the side here. Clancy just licks his leg up and pees outside of it. And then he pees in the water all the time. It's just, this guy, he was even peeing on Benny. Like Benny was a stump to him. Walks right up and starts peeing on Benny the other day. Yeah, Clancy, yeah, I think he might end up being a pretty cool dog, but right now he's just like a little demon. Fun even when I make screen black. Alright, let's see. Well, we're still only at like 50% of the goal, you guys. I don't know if there's anybody out there that got here late, didn't hear what I was saying, but I need the support from the people watching the show to make things go. If not, that's okay too. I can get to, maybe I'll turn into the UK guy and make 3 videos a day on one case. What do you mean, why are they in jail? That's because they're puppies and they're males and they pee on everything. That's why they're in there. Doesn't that make sense? Do you want, would you allow a dog that puts his mark on everything in the house? I think female dogs are a little easier to deal with, to be honest with you. They're only like 8 months old. Maybe, nah, they're more than that. They're getting probably 9. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, he just makes up stuff on a daily basis. I'm just trying to put stuff out that is reasonable. Do you think it might be an interesting video if I go through it? Because look how close that is to my 3D model that I have. Because that's real. That's real right there. But if I went through and let's see, look at right there. So let's see what happens if I pull up that shot again. Look at that. I mean, hell, I got the window there, the little console, different angle, but and then the living room right there, and that right there is Madison Mogan's room right there. And there's that little step down, and see, I have all that. See, there it is. There's not Madison Mogan. It's Dylan Mortensen. Sorry. Madison Mogan's room is right upstairs, above her head. But look at that. See that? You can just see it right there. I think it's a pretty good model. See, that's what I'm saying, you guys. This is what you're gonna want to be when we're able to just kind of go through. I want to make a version where it's a video game where I can move around in it myself and go wherever I want. And I did that for the Jodi Arias case, where I made it where I could walk through and open doors and, you know, just do whatever I felt like. Okay. Never known Brian could have done something crazy like take a drink. What does that mean? Yeah, it could. I'm not gonna. Yeah, well, I think they're gonna cut some of the stuff out of the trial, stuff that we can't see. I don't know why you can't just not let us see the video. I want to hear the testimony though. All right, you guys. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for the discussion. Thanks to Timothy Cecil, Christy Smith, Jeannie Gaiagoy, Shelly, Rock Girl Media, gifted a membership, then Florence White, Alley Cake, Donna, Kami, Alley Cake, gifted one, Lainey Carter, Stephanie Sprague, Plato. I think that was the highest one of the night. Jim Lawn. Then we had Cody Sheffield, Alley Cake, Allie Kohler. 2 Alleys, A-L-I. That's pretty amazing. Sandy's Sirius. I guess that would equal Plato. And then EB Clownin, Scarlet, Alley Cake, Jimlon, Flora, Poste, Alan McMahon, Kami, Timothy Moore, and Jimlon. Then we also had Egyptian Princess, Lisa Valenzuela, and Donna K on PayPal. I think that's for the notebook, right? And then Peggy Day and Caroline Palmieri. All right, thanks everybody. We will see you tomorrow. All right, so thanks for watching, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Greg is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later.